I've been losing lots of keys lately. I don't know what that means, but maybe I'd be better off with things that can't be locked. I'm breaking out of boxes, taking off these chains. Don't need your expectations. No, I'm building my own name. Don't run.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, any of you guys follow me on Twitch, just so you know, I finally got some emotes being made. All the Twitch, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm trying to get a couple buddies in here in a few minutes. For some reason, my email's not working to my phone. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh my God. Please stop. Paste. Send. I hate it. So I gotta go here. This is what I gotta send things to myself from one direction to another direction. There you are, Vince. Hi. Copy. There it is. What's up? Good morning. 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 Morning. Oh my goodness. I'm tired. I'm tired. Good morning. So the past couple of times I went live on several of my Facebook accounts, several of them. So we have like a couple groups, and I feel like it kind of spread it out too much. And so I'm just keeping it one Facebook page. If you guys are in any of the Drinking Bros groups that I'm in, like Drinking Bros Dads or Drinking Bros like Salt Lake City, feel free to share this video into those groups, because I would normally do that, but then I'm going live on each platform and it kind of takes away from the original feed. So instead, we'll share this to those pages and just let them live. So that's what we can be doing. That's what we can be doing. So look at, like, let me put my volume down because I keep getting text messages. Those guys that are jumping on right now. Oh, today's me and my wife's anniversary. It's our anniversary. I was actually gonna just make a post. Baby, you and me. Ba, 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 ba. Who I am. Ba, 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 ba. To be you. Make this put. It's our anniversary. What up? What up? Oh, that's on Twitter. Yeah, I have to make this post later because I'm not focused enough, and I need to give it the credit it deserves. I'm trying to find a picture, but whatever. Good morning. Oh, hey, check this out. Got it. Sorry, I didn't mean to put your address on live, but you guys check this out. Oh, this was already open. Damn. I hope no one stole anything. I don't think they did. My boy Rich. Look at that. Tillman. Beautiful. Love it. Thanks, big dog. Send me your Venmo, man. I'll send you some money for these. I appreciate it. I keep forgetting. Some Dodgers. Beautiful. 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 Something just beeped at me. Oh, okay. There's Lehigh. Pat Tillman again. Another Tillman. Gorgeous. I love these. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you. Do I have a desire to play military roles in my cinema career? Or would you rather not? Or are you indifferent? Well, Clay, to be honest, I'll play any role that is challenging, fun, exciting, new. Good morning, Travis. I can't say no to a role. I would love to. There's roles that I would love to do. I did turn down a role the other day that wasn't something I felt like playing. I don't know. I see you, Lehigh. Let me know when you guys are ready. Give me a thumbs up. What do you think should happen to Taza? I can't say. I have no idea. Thank you, Mike. You guys was just the other day, brother. So thank you. Let me see. Let's hit up a couple sponsors real quick before we get to our guests. We're gonna be talking. I'm gonna check on them in a second.
What's up? It's your boy VinnyRoc from the VinnyRoc podcast. Just want to talk about Core Medical Group. Yes, TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. I use it. It's very important that you guys go get your blood work done. Hit them up. I can give you a number to my personal dude. He will square you away. For some reason, us over 25 guys who've been in the military and now out have a testosterone issue. You want mental health, you want physical health, you want personal growth. Go hit them up. Check out Core Medical Group. Oh, you know what else they do? Erectile dysfunction meds. None of my business. None of my business. But I promise, if you guys are interested, they'll be discreet. Send it to your house, directly to you. Telemedicine type shit. Your boy loves you. Go hit him up. Core Medical Group.
Yes. Let me hit a couple more sponsors real quick before we get to my boys. We're going to be speaking with us. Is that a pumpkin spice cold brew? No, I don't. I actually do like pumpkin spice, but mine is coming around the corner, and Big Poppy wants to be a little bit more lean Poppy before you put me on the camera and add 47 pounds. So I don't do too much of the sugar stuff. Just gotta keep it right, keep it tight.
My name is Mike Barker, founder of Hero Sports. We're out here playing some softball tonight. Hero Sports is a nonprofit organization for veterans and service members, an organization to increase your health and wellness. Find yourself once you get out of the military.
My name's Adrian. I was military police in the Army for about 11 years. When I returned in 2012, I didn't really have a home. Learned about Hero Sports, and it's amazing. I've been able to play softball. I've been able to get into other avenues.
My name is Bryant Jacobs. I met Vince and asked me what my goals were, and I told him I had always wanted to play softball, so he looked at me and said, set it up.
The biggest thing for me is just showing up, right? Get these guys here to the field. It's in itself is important. I guess that's the big win, right?
That's the big win, showing up. Let me get a couple more spots before we jump into the speaking. I got my buddies. They're ready. They're live. They're just waiting for me to click on that button. I was just reading about Hero Sports in your book. Well, awesome. Hero Sports is something I wish I had more time to contribute to. My boy Mike does his thing. And one more sponsor, then we're going to get to our guest.
I'm right here, making through these gears, doing my thing, splitting these lanes, making sure the streets all know my name. Made a few dollars, but ain't nothing changed. A lot of new faces, but my friends still the same. Cause this is how I roll, this is how I ride. Keep it 100 till the day that I die. This is how I roll, this is how I ride. Got me a band of brothers by my side. Got me a band of brothers by my side. I'm right here, I ain't going nowhere. Blood, sweat, and tears, whiskey, shining beers. Lot of travel miles in this rear view mirror. Watch to my back, but never running from my fears. Made a few wrong turns over these years. This is how I roll, this is how I ride. Keep it 100 till the day that I die. This is how I roll, this is how I ride. Got me a band of brothers by my side. Got me a band of brothers by my side.
Boom. What up? What up? What up? So I'm making my post as we speak. I haven't anybody rush me. And many. Beautiful. Awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. My wife has been an awesome. Healthy relationships is hard to come by. I'm learning. We're learning. We're growing. People. It's just hard to explain that, but boom. Okay. Hi. Hey, Leah, you ready? I'm gonna get my boy in here right now. She's pregnant, dog. She's super pregnant. It's crazy, but it's good. We're excited. All right, I'm gonna go live with my boy. This is our first time live, so bear with us. What up, dog?
What's going on?
All right, your feed is a little slow, so you're doing one of those.
Yeah.
Can you plug it directly into your internet?
I don't think we have the access for that over here.
Okay, no worries. We'll make it work. Boom.
We got Mike here.
We got everybody up in this mix.
All
Mike, what's
right.
up? Everybody's in here. So, gentlemen, you guys, how's everything been? Can Mike hear me? You're on mute, big dog. Let me see if I
You
got
have him
you
on
now.
mute? Okay.
Can he hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Good morning, everybody in the chat. No audio from Mike. Okay.
Yeah.
We're getting it figured out. We're getting it worked out. Oh, this is a good angle, but I gotta move. There you go. Get my face in the mix.
I tried to find a Mexican flag, but I couldn't get a hold of one.
You couldn't get a hold of the Mexican flag?
Check 1 2.
I
Check
know.
1 2.
We
My
got
girl
you, Mike.
forgot
Hold
it.
on.
There we go, brother.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, bro?
Everybody good? Let's see.
Good.
I'm trying to see which one looks better. We could even just do none. There it is. What up? What up? What up? Hey, dude. So you guys are live right now on the VinnyRoc podcast. We talked yesterday about bringing you on board and talking about this month. What is this month, Lehigh?
This month is Hispanic Heritage Month.
Hispanic Heritage Month. Let me ask, you're Mexican?
Yeah.
And Mike, you are?
Puerto Riqueño.
How close do you guys? I see as in the room. Close your door, Mike, because I'm hearing Lehigh on yours.
Lehigh's all the way on the other side of
I'm on the other side of the office.
You know what it is? Because Lehigh, you have those ear things on. That's
Yeah.
what.
Oh, okay.
Those give a little bit of a feedback.
Oh, okay.
Either way, let's talk, bro. Let's talk. I want to talk about this. So I don't want to. It is National Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah, Hispanic Heritage or Latino Heritage Month. Yeah.
I love it. What are you on right now? You're on your phone, Lehigh?
I'm on my phone. I forgot my laptop.
Okay, then take those things out of your ears and let's just go straight
Okay.
to it, because it's gonna sound a lot better for everyone.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Cool. Hey, Mike, tell me, you're Puerto Rican. You from the island?
Yeah, I was born in Puerto Rico. I was born in Bayamon. I was raised there until I was like 7, 8 years old. And
Nice.
then left the island.
And then you joined the military at 8?
No, so I was raised there until I was 7, 8 years old, and I actually moved up to Alaska, brother.
No way. Was your father or mother military?
Yeah, so my grandfather, before he passed away, was military. He told my mom all about serving in Alaska. So he was actually stationed up in Alaska, and my mom kind of wanted to give me a better lifestyle. So what she did was, when he passed away, she decided, hey, let's just make a new transition, and we moved up to Alaska. So my mom was working. She was like working at a Kmart for a couple years, and she met my stepfather, he's still in the military now, but he was prior Marines, and now he's a Air National Guardsman up in Alaska as an E8. So that was a big shell shock transitioning over, weather and just like the community and everything.
What language did you speak when you were 8? Was it purely Spanish?
Purely Spanish. I was the one Puerto Rican kid in an Alaskan elementary school speaking Spanish and trying to catch up to everyone else. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And Lehigh, you are from originally where?
So I'm originally.
Oh man, we're having a lot of technical issues. We're having technical issue with you, Lehigh. Why don't we do this? Why don't you guys join each other in the same room? We'll go off one camera and just sit close to each other.
Yeah, I got my stream back here.
There you go. And you'll have to take off that Puerto Rican flag because Lehigh's like, he ain't trying to represent it. You know what I'm saying? All right, we'll fix that right now. Go ahead. Boom.
Come here, Lehigh.
Get over there, Lehigh. So you guys, National Hispanic Heritage Month. If you guys don't know, I'm half Mexican, half Puerto Rican. I was raised by a Mexican mother, Puerto Rican father. But the interesting thing about that is that my father moved to LA at the age of 14. And when he did that, I'm gonna mute them. He moved it at age of 14. And in LA at that time, there's not a lot of Puerto Ricans. Actually, when I was in high school, there's very few. I know a family showed up late in my senior year. But besides that, I did get a lot of like, what's Puerto Rican or what are you? You know, and I'd say I'm half Puerto Rican. Some people think I'm half black, half Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican, half. So they didn't understand to the T of exactly what Puerto Rican is. But to include me, myself, I didn't really either, because being raised in California in a heavily predominant Mexican culture, there wasn't a lot of Puerto Ricans. And so my father kind of grown more accustomed to the Mexican lifestyle, and his Spanish is more Mexican than it is Puerto Rican as well. And so I was just kind of telling my background about this, but I have some questions for you guys. First, let's talk, man. Melendez, are you that much taller than Lehigh?
Oh yeah, bro. This is exactly how it is. Always.
He's way taller.
All right, cool.
No, one sec. I don't want to get an echo off this. So
yeah, I know. It's all.
Go ahead, brother.
Can you hear all right, Lehigh?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can Lehigh hear you?
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to.
Yeah, I can't hear. Is there a way to do it like that?
I can do it this way. We could try it.
Let's go for it.
I just don't want an echo. Like you can. All right, go ahead. V, talk real quick.
As long as if it's clean, it's clean. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clear.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, tell me about your upbringing, Lehigh. Being Mexican, where are you originally from?
So I'm originally from New Mexico.
Okay.
Back so people can see my face. Oh.
There you go. We see you, bro.
Right.
Originally from New Mexico. Is your family predominantly speaking Spanish growing up?
So my dad, he's from Mexico. My mom, she's from New Mexico.
I'm fixing it, dog. There you go.
My mom's from New Mexico as well. So they spoke Spanish to each other predominantly, but with my mom, she said that we kind of spoke it when we were younger, but that we just kind of stopped on our own. So I didn't grow up speaking Spanish.
Yeah. And what kind of food did you guys eat? Your mom made Mexican food, right?
Oh yeah, straight up.
Okay. All right. So I got some questions.
All right.
And Melendez, you're into this as well.
All right, let's get it.
There we go.
Who makes flan?
Oh, we do.
Mexicans or Puerto Ricans?
That's all day. That's us.
What are you talking
about? That's us. I was like, I eat flan. I know you eat flan, but if we're going with like who makes flan on a regular, I like.
You
I
think
would say
You think Puerto
make
Ricans?
flan.
Probably.
Yeah,
We do tres leches.
yeah. No, you guys are definitely that.
Hey, everybody listening, if you guys are Hispanic of any sort of Latino, anything, tell me who makes flan. Who's the originators of flan? Do you guys
Good
know?
question.
That's a question for you guys. I know the answer.
I get it. Rancho Market has a good flan.
Oh my god, bro.
All right, so a little bit of history on that. It's a Spanish thing, right? So even because the Spanish back in the day have kind of conquered everyone.
Yeah.
So the Spanish is kind of like the original of flan, and everyone has their version of it. So Puerto Ricans make it with
Okay.
Puerto Ricans make it the most.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'm gonna say Puerto Ricans make it with coconut.
Yep. Okay.
That's a traditional thing, and so the Mexican style of it is more like a custard. So
Yeah.
like a
And we do
tapioca
like
pudding.
crema caramel.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
we do
it's an interesting thing to see, because you know who else? What other culture does that? Is Filipinos. Why? Because they were conquered by Spain as well.
That's true.
So it's an interesting thing. Just
Yeah.
fun. I know this because I went to Thanksgiving in San Antonio, where all the Puerto Rican family is, with my wife,
Yeah.
and I got yelled at because I was like, "Oh shit, you guys have some Mexican flan up in here?"
Oh no, you don't, bro.
And Grandma was like, no.
Get that chancla.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you guys call it chanclas too in Puerto Rico, or what?
Chancleta.
Chancleta?
Yeah.
They try to be all fancy. Chancleta.
I love it. I love it.
Don't you think it's weird though that they actually, like, every parent knew how to throw a chancleta? Like every single one of them knew. It was like a sniper.
There was the other thing is my mom, she had these nice nails all the time, right? And she would reach back and she had this calf squeeze that would like
Oh no, bro.
Straight, bro. She'd be driving and reaching back and grabbing things and like squeezing. You're like, okay, I'm done. You're hiding them. Man. So do you guys? Here's another one. I'm gonna teach you guys some because I'm both, right? I'm Puerto Rican and Mexican, so this is an interesting thing.
Okay.
So in Christmas, what's some of the meals that you guys have during Christmas that's traditional for the Mexican culture for you growing up, Leon?
Oh man, it was always tamales.
There you go. Tamales is the one I was looking for. The tamales is the one I'm looking for. Real quick. How about you, Mike?
We had lechon.
Lechon, and do you guys also have pasteles?
Pasteles. I felt like that was almost like a year-round thing, though.
That's a very traditional. So here's
bacalao.
the thing about them. So pasteles and tamales are almost exactly the same, besides the outer layer, because Puerto Rican culture is more of a Caribbean culture, Caribbean foods. So you have the plantain, right, which is a very big part of the traditional, cuisines all the time. And so what we know in a Mexican household, Lehigh, of the assembly line of the women getting together, they're putting the corn husk and then getting the masa, putting it in there, and they're all doing this. Like, so in our households, in a Mexican household, when you're doing tamales, most of the time it's the women, and it's kind of generational, like the grandma, the mom, and the child all sitting there and doing the assembly line of something part of the tamale, right? They're putting it together, they're putting the matzah on there, they're folding it up, someone's putting it in the pan, and then they're steaming it later. Same exact fucking thing happens in the Puerto Rican culture. Bro. It's the same. You're using a banana leaf, and then you're getting the pretty much it's plantains that are mashed together that creates that masa, and then you put whatever's going to be in the inside. They fold it, they put it in the freaking thing, and they steam the motherfucker.
Same thing.
It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous to think, because I'm putting things together for everybody, because National Hispanic Heritage Month is interesting to me because we all kind of rooted from a very similar thing. But if you called Lehigh Puerto Rican, he'd be like, "Oh, no, I'm Mexican, right?" And if you call a Puerto Rican a Mexican, he's like, "Oh, no, we because outside looking in, if you speak Spanish, the first assumption is Mexican. It's just the way it is. It's like it's just like even political leaders saying everyone crossing the border is Mexican. Like, absolutely not. There's Honduran, there's Ecuadorian, there's a ton of different Hispanic heritages. And so here's another one. I'm gonna ask, don't answer this, Mike. Lehigh, what's coquito?
Coquito. Isn't that like a Puerto Rican like alcoholic drink or something?
Let's go.
There you go. Now here's a question though. What Mexican drink does it taste almost exactly like, but without alcohol?
You got
coconut. It's coconut.
you got me on that. I know. Yes.
No, but the flavoring is almost exactly to horchata.
Horchata?
Yes.
Let's go.
Right again.
So you can buy what is it? Horchata Rita or whatever the hell they call those
Oh
things.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's almost very similar to what a coquito is, but the coquito has the coconut blend, right? The cultural difference, that coconut, right? Yeah, coconut and plantains. Those are very big, decisive differences between the Puerto Rican foods. And Mexican foods have spice. Not too much Puerto Rican foods have spice.
No, we're all about smoothness, honestly. Like I feel like when my folks used to cook, it was to like cleanse, like you would do like to cleanse that palate. Ours would be to like hit all those taste buds and just be like, oh man, like you're kind of taking a ride through everything when it comes to Puerto Rican food.
I like that. So what is the music of choice in Puerto Rico when you're talking Spanish music?
Oh man, there's I would say merengue.
Yep. I would say merengue is probably the most
yeah, it's the most. It's the most.
And then, how about in the Mexican culture?
Man, we got banda, we got cumbias.
Salsa would be like, bam, hit them, right? Salsa, cumbia, right? And have you seen the dancing? It's almost exactly the same, but one is a little bit faster. Like the Spanish in Puerto Rico.
Oh man, come on, man.
That is true.
I think it's an interesting thing. So what is the alcoholic, I guess the alcohol of choice in Puerto Rico would be probably the most known for?
Okay, so like the biggest thing that we have, I would say Bacardi, because we create it. Yeah, we make it there.
Bacardi
it's one of our biggest economical like foundations for us. So I would say Bacardi, and then we love, just like you guys, we love a Corona. We love
so you got your beers, but you're right. You got Bacardi and rum are the two big cultural alcohol drinks in Puerto Rico. In Mexico, tequila is like
all day.
Is you know what I mean? Is the jam, right? That's you grow up on that shit. It's there. I had the tequila bottle with the worm on the bottom forever in my house. I was a kid and I'm like, man, what the fuck is that?
Just don't drink it.
And any of you guys have some nuances in the Hispanic cultures, please message them, comment, whatever you guys would like. But yeah, so that's a funny thing. You got the rum and Bacardi in Puerto Rico. You got in the Mexican culture more of a I know tequila to me is like a big one. Ricky, you're saying Heineken. The other thing for Mexicans is Bud Light. Like I tell people, Bud Light is more Mexican than anything. Because I believe more Mexicans drink Bud Light than any other drink out there. I grew up loving Tecate. Tecate was like, man, that's my jam. But
I love Bacardi. Like that's the go-to every single time. Bacardi or Coors. Just reminds you of like whenever like my uncles used to stay out in the lawn at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning playing dominoes, just throwing back some Coors Light and drinking Bacardi. So
that's another one. I've not seen in the Mexican culture too much dominoes. I grew up playing loteria.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah, loteria was like kind of the family, everyone around the table, all ages from kids to the elders. We also played Toma Todo, was the top. You ever played that one?
Oh yeah, I played that.
Yeah, so those are Mexican. Those are traditional kind of Mexican games that you would play. Like Toma Todo is a top, and you just spin it, and you'll either add 2, take away 2. It's just kind of like it's gambling in a sense. But we usually use pinto beans, bro. We used to use pinto beans as a kid. But that's the funny thing that is more of a Mexican traditional game that you play growing up in the household. And for Puerto Ricans, I played brica. Yes, right. Yes. And it's also some people call it brisca. It's different terms, and then as well as dominoes.
And then we had for the top. It was like I think it was called like top, or you would get like a top, and you'd have a string on it, and you throw it against another top.
Yeah, that's just like throwing rocks, almost like it's a game.
You start attacking each other.
I had them as a kid as well. The tops.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go. There you go. Ricky says, Brisket. Topo. There you go. This is my boy. So people are mentioning these right now. So it's this really cool thing that what I wanted to show you guys is that sometimes our cultures can be so divided because, you know, we're proud of like Mexican, Puerto Rican, El Salvadorian, whatever it is. And it's so cool that to me, the root of it all is very similar, right? We're rooted on really good food. We're rooted on good alcohol, good music, and good family traditions.
Yeah.
And that is the coolest thing to me about like, I think I don't know other cultures because I wasn't raised in those cultures, but I can tell you that the Hispanic culture is really rooted on those four things. And so like when you go into a Hispanic household and you're greeted by them almost like welcome as family, it's this really beautiful thing because we all have same, I say nuances because it's all the same, but it's definitely completely different based on like the locations of the areas, right? Mexico, I love Mexican food. I love Mexican food more than anything. It's my favorite meal. But Puerto Rican food is like my second favorite, right? Is and it's just the way it is. I just grew up eating more Mexican food, and so it's this funny thing, man. And so I don't know. I'm not sure. So I'm writing currently a script, and so I've been doing these studies myself, and just blown away by.
I love it.
Yeah, some of the cool similarities that we all probably didn't realize. You know.
Yeah. Honestly, that's very informative too. Like you never look at it until you take a step back and realize, like, man, we have so many things that are in common. You know, like the whole. It all bases on like respect as well. Like I feel like every Hispanic has that type of, you know, pride and respect for one another. Once they see each other, oh, hey, you're Spanish. Oh, like, hey, I'm gonna treat you exactly how I treat my brother and sister at the house.
You know what's crazy is that Puerto Ricans still to me, there's not a lot of Puerto Ricans in the United States that you run into. Like there's these areas where they're packed, right? In the East Coast, packed.
New York.
Yeah, New York, Philly, right? Like that whole area. Like it's like Cubans down in Florida. It's very inundated. There's a ton of people, but like you start going west.
Oh no.
Bro, it's like when I find a Puerto Rican, I'm like, yo, what up? Because it's
so like, true.
You know, because you're like, man, there's something that I know that they know is we're raised in the cultural similarities. And so and you don't find a lot of Puerto Ricans, right?
No,
me and Mexicans right away, I'm like, what's up? But sometimes I feel like I'm not Mexican enough, right? I went to this. Do you guys remember Tacos Caramelo?
Where's that at?
It was right there in West Valley. It's not there no more because they found a dead body in the freezer. Yeah. True story. Crazy.
What?
I'm eating tacos there. I'm loving the place. This place is the best. All of a sudden, the news like there was like this murder. Man, bro, there's like a double homicide like investigation going on, and they found a body in the freezer. I'm like,
oh my gosh,
man,
what's that secret sauce, man? I don't even know what's in this thing.
It's like I don't know what they taste, but they're so good.
It's spicy, dude.
Yeah. It's not like pork and it's not like beef. I'm not sure what this is.
I don't know what it is. I can never get the taste right.
Bro, true story. West Valley Tacos Caramelo is shut down now. It used to be, to me,
jeez, man.
Most it was the most authentic tacos I found here.
Yeah.
Like when I would order tacos, I'd be like, dos carne asada, por favor, y dos, and I'd say fucking, I don't know, whatever else they fucking had, right? And they look at me like, I'd say, shit, was that not good enough? Like was my Spanish not on point? You know what I'm saying? Like, so then I'd be like, oh yeah, just 2 carne asada tacos, please. That's it, I'm good.
I like how you went from like being Mexican to just straight Americanized. Like, I'll just take 2 carne asada.
Yeah, that's how insecure I get, dude, because I feel like I can order food in Spanish and I feel fine. But as soon as someone questions my Spanish, right? Someone who is a fluent speaker goes, huh? I'm like, let me get 2 carne asada tacos and some a pastor. Gracias. Thank you.
Gracias.
I'm the same way, man. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's just a hard thing, man, because look, I love my Hispanic heritage. I love how I was raised. And it's sometimes there is an insecurity there because I don't speak Spanish very well. That like, well, fuck, I'm rather not because I feel like it's more embarrassing to fuck it up. You know what I mean? And I'm in that balance space where I can order food. I can say certain things. I can understand Spanish. I can understand Mexican Spanish. I can't understand Puerto Rican Spanish.
Well, our Puerto Rican Spanish, I feel like, you know, it's algarete. Like it just kind of feels like you're you can get away. You can get away from not knowing too much of it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
for
well,
you, if
yeah,
you would have gone
it's
in,
like
you would have been
shortcuts.
like, puedo coger carne asada y también a drink. They'd be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, okay, cool. That's Puerto Rican Spanish because he said everything in Spanish and then he said drink in English. Like it just feels like you can get away with mixing it up here and there.
So
But
how do you say cake in for you Mike?
see, like again, like for me, it's like I can't say it, so I'll say cake.
Yeah.
so-
So the traditional word for cake would be pastel, right? And then some people just say cakey.
yeah, like
Yeah,
that's
my
what-
mom was raised saying cakey, and people are like, "That's not right." I was like, "Yeah, well, where she was from, there you go."
Yeah, we always say quequito.
This here. So Ricky says, "Bizcocho."
Oh, bizcocho.
Bizcocho.
Yeah,
So
no,
that would be
see?
cake?
And then if somebody says it, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Thank you, Ricky.
Yeah, thanks, Ricky. Thank you. He's our language dialect coach.
Yeah,
Bro,
bizcocho.
on the show of Mayans, bro, they had me speaking Spanish in the first episode, the first season, and there was this line, dude, and I still to this day can't hit this line. And the dialect coach had me say it, and I'm like, and I kept fucking it up, dude. And I'm like, can we change this goddamn line, dude? Because I can say everything somewhat good, but when you start throwing a word I've never heard,
Yeah.
I was so like I was sweating, dog. I was sweating, and I'm like, man, I'm and every time they come to me, I'll be like, and I'm like, yeah, and everyone in the room is, yeah, they're all laughing at me, dog.
Bro.
It's take after take after take. I'm like, can we just change the line? Because I can't.
They just changed it to C.
Yeah, it was so bad, bro. So cake dulce.
Cake dulce, you know.
So everyone has something, right? And it's funny because like my mom grew up in a small part of El Paso called Canutillo. It's actually not El Paso. It's a bordering town of El Paso and a bordering town of New Mexico. And it is so old school that we still would dig the hole for someone in our family that was dying in the small little funeral location. Bro, old school, dog.
That's
old
crazy.
school. Yeah. And they had their own Spanish that was kind of a dialect of their own in that small town.
Yeah.
And when my mom moved to LA, she was like, man, my Spanish was so fucked because people didn't get any of it. It was like their own version of shit. It was a Spanish English. It was right. And my parents didn't teach us Spanish for very similar to you, Lehigh, was the fact that it was kind of like, well, let's assimilate into America. Let my kids speak good English before we start trying to teach them Spanish. We'll teach them later. And then eventually, I remember raised up, my parents only talked to each other in Spanish.
Same.
And us in English. And so I understood that much. And then there were some parts of our English, like I never knew what sandals were. I only knew chanclas, right? I just never knew. I remember going to my white friend's house. I'm like, oh, let me get my chanclas. And they're like, what? And I was like, my chanclas. And they're like, what is that? And I was like, fuck, I don't know. Like, what are they called? Sandals. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, my sandals. Like, because you're fully engulfed in that world and with no clue. I got confused with sofa. I was like, sofa's Spanish. No, but sofa's English. I'm like, huh? Like a kid who's already dyslexic and fucked up with everything. You're like, sofa. Couch? Shit.
What about sofa? Oh,
I was lost, dog.
Sofa.
Growing up, my mom still said share because she was still, learning her English in proper, however. She would say share. She'd say spray. She would say Pepsi or something like that, like something crazy. I'm like, what? What is that? But now, things have changed, years and years of speaking, but I don't know. I think it's pretty gorgeous. But hey, you guys are both recruiters currently for the active duty or National Guard. Which one is it?
Army National Guard, Utah.
Army National Guard, Utah. And so, what is the policies currently for anyone who is not a U.S. citizen wanting to join the military? Just curious about that, because most of that comes from like the Mexican side or different countries. Do you guys do that at all?
Yeah, we get quite a bit like that, honestly.
Yeah, so it's the policy now is if you have at least a minimum green card, once you complete your basic training, your job training, then you can get your citizenship. My cousin, he joined the Arizona National Guard. I guess he saw like the career path that I took, and he was a permanent resident, so he ended up getting his citizenship that way.
So they have to become a permanent resident first.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have
It's called
minimum.
it's called, I believe it's called a LAPR card, and it's called legally admitted or something.
No, I mean, it can't be like a visa or a student
Yeah.
visa. It has to be a green card.
So essentially, the reason why is because everything is tracked by social here. So once you receive that social security number and you have that permanent residence card, we can actually begin the process with that. Not only do we help in trying to like expedite the situation and like get you the residency, we also try to help any family members that are currently in your location with you. So
Nice. I had 4 students as a drill sergeant for my, I don't know, little privates, whatever, that became naturalized citizens. Once they graduated basic training. They had to graduate basic training, and then we had a ceremony for them as well, and it was really beautiful. I thought it was kind of cool.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then we also have a program, like once somebody's kid is in, it's called Pro in Place.
Thanks,
So, I mean,
Chris.
it's more
My
like an
bad, dog.
immigration law.
I should know this. This is my cousin. I should know this, and I don't know. This is
Thank you, Chris.
no. LAPR is a lawfully admitted permanent resident. My bad. That's my cousin, and my dumbass should have known that. He's probably like, "Hey, dumbass."
He's like, come on, Mexican.
Yeah, I know. Come on, former Homeland Security. So what's that program?
So the parole in place. So what that does is once somebody's in, if their parents aren't here legally, then that's a law that it basically has them here safe until they can get their residency. So they can't be deported or anything like that. A lot of people don't know about that program.
Oh, that's good. So how does that explain that a little bit more for me?
It's just so we have one recruiter on our team, Sergeant Soto. He's really successful in the Hispanic community. So it's an immigration law, but it's called parole in place. So it's just something that, like I said, it keeps the parents. It can only be used for the parents, so it keeps them here. They're not a citizen; they're just safe from being deported. So it's
So as your kid is going through the process of getting into the military and serving his country, the parents are protected and not being deported.
Exactly.
That's pretty beautiful. So that kid is a citizen?
Yeah, that kid essentially will be a citizen since
well, I mean,
he's going through the process.
If they came in, so like say I'm joining, if I have my citizenship or even if I have a green card, even though, so like it's just by me serving that it helps the parents.
That protects the parents from getting deported. But that's cool. And will it help the parents in working towards getting their citizenship as well, or their green card?
It kind of like it helps the process. It kind of expedites it. We've had a lot of families that have used that program and been successful.
Why did you join the military, Lehigh?
So with me, it's so I'm from a small border town in New Mexico, just kind of like your mom, El Paso. I used to live there too. But Deming is.
What town was that?
What's that?
Deming?
Yeah, Deming. So it's like an hour and a half
really?
from El Paso.
Yeah.
So just super small. Like if you've heard of it, you're like, oh yeah, I drove through there.
People
know that's Cruces, New Mexico, right? But with me, it was so like my dad came across illegally. Sorry, I'm sharing personal information, Dad, but so he came across, and for me, it was just seeing that, he's been able to get his citizenship here, provide better opportunities for us. Like he doesn't even have a high school diploma, but he was still able to get his citizenship. So for me, just seeing, hey, this is a country that has given my family so much.
Yeah.
For me, it was just like a sense of pride to be like, you know what, this is my way of giving back to a country that gave me and my brothers and sisters, a solid future.
Awesome. I love that. And Mike, how about you?
Honestly, so when my mom moved up to Alaska, she told me everything about my grandfather. I thought, that was super heroic of him doing that. She was living on the streets in Alaska, and while she was working at Kmart, she ran into a guy named Albert Buffoon and his wife Helen. They actually took us in. My mom left. My mom picked us up from Puerto Rico, moved us up to Alaska. We stayed in their like basement area. Later on, I was going through college, and we had, I wasn't doing too well in college, and I decided, well, maybe a military is the option. Well, I was going back and forth until I heard news of Albert passing away. When Albert passed away, we went over to his funeral, and he served in the Screaming Eagles in Fort Bragg, North Carolina during the time, and they had a big photo of him just like posted up at the funeral. And that's honestly when I knew, like, if this man came from that and did all the stuff that he did throughout his life to help me, to help my mother and my sisters, like, I want to be like this man. So I literally joined the next week, and I served in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, served up in Alaska as the airborne units, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. And then I just want to be able to transition that and help the kids out in their futures. So that's why I picked up recruiting, because I was like, I can do this, and hopefully I can help out another Hispanic kid or another kid that just doesn't really have a path.
It's it's funny. There's two things, like the poor and middle class really serve the military more than anyone, and rightfully so, right? Like, because it is a place that gives opportunity that you never would have ever had if you didn't. And so I had a good buddy of mine. We grew up playing football together, grew up in the same hood. Me and with Andres de la Cueva, one of our boys, and he goes, "Hey, my son is thinking about joining, but what's the plan? Is he gonna go to college? Are they gonna send him off to war?" Like, this is his question, right? And like, are they gonna send him off to war? And like, what I try to tell people is like, man, like, you don't have to have my job. Like, what I did in the military, I was ready to just like, let's just go. Like, I was just in a place in my mind at that time. We're at war. Fuck it. I was kind of pissed at the world because I lost baseball, right? That was my dream, to play pro ball. And so at that point, it's like, well, then I'll die for the country. That's kind of the mindset of an immature, young, dumbass me, is what I wanted to do. And I'm proud of what I did. But if I can turn back the clocks, I don't know if I would have done that anymore, because my path from getting out has been that much harder to try to establish what am I good at. You see what I'm saying? Like, law enforcement was the only step I could have done, and I'm proud to have done that as well. But for my own kids and for where they're at, because so it all comes down to like mentorship, and my father didn't mentor me in thinking of these things. It was more like, work for the government, get a retirement, and I'm like, all right, cool. But how? Where do I start? Where do I go? And the only thing, my dad was a firefighter. He's like, just join the fire department. I was like, okay, cool. That was like my plan. And then baseball, whatever. So if I was able to do this for my son, I would say go Intel, right? Like I told you, I tried to get my daughter in, and I had a whole lineup for her to do Intel, right? Hey, I appreciate you, Jess. I'm going to be getting some emotes soon, and I'll shoot them your way. But sorry, I'm interacting with some of my people. But my son would do something that I personally, as a father, can kind of protect, as well as give him this opportunity in the future that is ridiculous. Like my buddy, we're talking about money, talk about retirement. I'm getting medically retired from the military, and the cool thing is, like, my pension pretty much would start instantly. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to have a pension. It's not a great pension, but it's something. It's something that my buddy was like, bro, you're going to have just money coming in. That pension will pay my mortgage. I forever will not have to worry about a mortgage. Bro, if that's not the biggest blessing of a lifetime, that's huge, dude.
That's huge.
If you're a grown ass man, like, oh, that sounds good.
That's such a stressor on people too. Like,
bro, so forever, my family will, no matter the worst can happen, we can have, and I know that the house is paid. Bro, for me, that is like the biggest like stress relief I've ever had in my entire life. And that never would be the case if I didn't serve. You know what else? I'm going to college right now. I'm trying to finish up my college. I'm getting an extra stipend of like $400 a month on top, right? That never would have been a thing if I didn't serve. You see what I'm saying? Like, all these things. How about the mentality of what I have now and what I use in acting and how I've been able to just grow and be more successful daily is the same mentality I used in Ranger Battalion, same mentality I used as a drill sergeant. I've been instilled, like, the Ranger Creed is my thing, right? I was told that Rangers lead the way. And I still believe it, dog. And I hold that on my shoulders every day. Like, how do I represent my community better? How do I represent the Ranger community better? How do I not embarrass my brothers and sisters to the left and to the right? And it's this thing. It's always it's a small pressure, but it's a good pressure that keeps me honest of trying to do the right thing, always trying to work hard and trying to instill this honor and pride like what the Army gives us. You know what I'm saying? So those of you listening and you're like kind of in this, should I serve, should I not? My whole thing is like, why the fuck not? You don't have to be an infantry dude. You know what I'm saying? You can be a cook. You can be a truck driver. You can be, bro, you know how many people right now, Amazon is probably looking for every damn supply guy in the world to help run their warehouses.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
It's crazy to me. I think it's valuable. So there's guys that hit me up and say, this government is holding me down and slowing us down because of this and that. I'm like, no. It's mentality. It's mentality, because I easily could have, my mom easily could have stayed picking fruit and cotton her whole life. She chose not to. And who am I to disrespect that drive and slow down and back and digress?
And I think that's huge. Now, don't hold yourself in the cage.
That's it.
Don't hold yourself in the cage. Like what you're saying about the jobs is honestly spot on. Like I feel like people don't want to take advantage of what there is out there for you. You were talking about truck drivers. We give like certain certifications. We help out with IT, all types of stuff. Like it's just if you don't have a means to get a certain job, let us be your means.
Yep.
So that's huge.
I love it.
The biggest thing for me is like, so, with this month being Hispanic Heritage Month, right? So I'm super proud of my culture because just like most Hispanic cultures, we come, like our generations before us, like they were hard workers, working in the fields. And like, that's why I'm like proud of my heritage, my culture, because like even as a 8-year-old, my dad used to take me to the chili fields, right? So he taught me hard work from a very young age. And it's something, just like you said with the Rangers Creed, for me, like statistically where I come from, like we're not supposed to succeed. It's super small town. It was when I was in high school, Deming was #1 in the state for teen pregnancy. So it's like people from there, like we weren't supposed to be successful, but
no, you're supposed to grow up there and stay there.
Yeah.
And enter into the cycle of whatever manufacturing plant, whatever you're supposed to not grow.
Yep.
And there was a lot of drugs and gangs where I'm from. So it was just like, for me, when so I wasn't even going to graduate actually. So I moved to Arizona my senior year, dropped out. And then I was like, well, crap, what am I going to do now? I don't have a job. I'm not going to go to college. So I just remember seeing a Navy recruiter. But that's what got me through like my Navy career. And that's I've been in 18 years now. So just that hard work that I learned early on from, just being ingrained in my culture, like that's pretty much helped me my entire life in anything I've done.
Yeah, bro. And sometimes you just need that little bit of a bump, right? A little change in scenery, shift it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I trip out. Like, you can go to college. Your family might not ever be able to afford college, but you can go to college. You got to make one sacrifice. Join the service. What's the job you're going to get? Your choice. You want to be comms? You want to never see combat? You can go to the recruiter like, look, I don't fight. I'm not a fighter. Please don't send me to combat. What else can I do? You'll be like, well, look, we can put you, in comms, and the worst case scenario, you might have to be in a truck. You know what I mean? Like, you can genuinely go up to a recruiter and say, I don't want to go to combat. That's my fear. And they'll be like, okay, well, let's just try and find a job that's not going to put you in the front lines, because you might deploy, but you'll be in the FOB. You'll be in the FOB probably building things. You'll be in the FOB. Who knows? There's a lot of different there's so many different jobs. People that are listening right now, you probably don't realize this, but you can be a respiratory therapist. You can be a dog handler. You can be a vet tech. There's so many in every job field. There's so many things. Currently right here in Utah, if you guys are in Utah, you guys know this. Mike, we talked about this because I was trying to get my daughter. You can be intel and work on a lot of issues that we have locally in Utah. And so you would never be deployed because there's enough work for you here to do in state.
You're focused on the state itself. So It's huge. It's huge.
And then
man.
I don't know. I'm such an advocate for this. Like, give me my badge. Give me my badge. I'd sign every single one of my kids. Like,
Bad, bro. Bad.
Give me. Is there a stipend I can get for that? Is it? Do I get a check? Thank you.
Yeah. We'll get you a hatchet. Actually, we'll get you a water bottle.
I said I need a 3XL shirt collared. Thank you.
Bad, bro. No.
3XLs for those months. I'm a little more chunky.
You've been golfing, so we could get you a nice National Guard polo.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, he's been trying to golf.
Yeah, I've been trying to golf. Everyone tries the golf. No one really golfs. Okay. I got a funny story for you guys, man. We're coming up at 55 minutes, so we're gonna have to cut this out here in a second. I gotta head to work. Funny story. So when I was in the Border Patrol, we had the Puerto Ricans who are straight from the island.
Mm-hmm.
They don't speak English or Spanish. I don't know what it is. It's kind of an
Garete.
Yeah, exactly. They only speak Puerto Rican. And so on the radio, we had a guy who goes, "Hey, I'm over here with a something like that." And then he goes, "I got 6 windbags." And we were like, "Yo, dog, you cannot say that word. That is a derogatory term. You will get fired over the net." He goes, yeah, I got 6 windbags. And the man, all of us are like, "What the fuck is going on?" And so one of the dudes runs over there and goes, "Ask him, like, bro, what are you saying?" He goes, No, man. They came in and they went back. I got 6, but they came in and went back. And we're like, "Bro, you got to slow down on the radio, dog." We all thought he said a derogatory term.
In your face. Did you just say that?
Yeah. Everyone's like, that dude's getting fired. Pack up your stuff. So writing a memo in the Border Patrol, you write a memo and say, "Sir, no one was more surprised than I." You know what I mean? It's just,
oh my God.
Absolutely insane.
Oh man, that's priceless, bro.
But dude, hey, I appreciate you guys jumping on here and talk about National Hispanic Heritage Month. It's an important thing to acknowledge. And it's also really awesome to see successful Latinos, Hispanic men doing their thing and pushing others to do their thing. You guys have anything to say? You guys can promote your unit and however you want.
No, go ahead.
Oh man, no. So we're located in Riverton. Mike's over Bingham High School. I'm over West Jordan High School. So those are like our main. Those are the high schools that we can oversee. But I mean, if you just want to get any information, just like see if like, hey, this is something that's going to help you out. Like, we're just here to change lives. So it's like we're both in Riverton, right by the Crumble Cookies. So come see us. Go get a cookie. It's all good.
Mike, anything?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for this time, man. I honestly, we respect the heck out of you. We look at you and we see like, hey, this guy, he got out of the military and he did it all right. Like he's working hard and that's what we want to be able to do with all Latinos, well, anybody that comes through here. We want to be able to give you that foundation, that block. So then when you do get out of the military later on, you can, thrive and have a career in whatever you want to choose. So honestly, this was a blessing. I'm glad that we were able to do this. So yeah, you can hit us up at Riverton or, find us on IG. Doesn't matter. Yep.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you guys next week. I'll play a couple sponsors and then I'm out of here. All right.
Cuídate.
Boom, 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 boom. That was cool. I had fun with that. I had fun. Let's get to a sponsor.
Let's talk about CBD. I'm not talking about the mysterious little bottle you buy at a gas station or the shady mystery products you see online. I'm talking about real CBD. CBD with provenance. That means you know where it's grown, what goes in it, and where it's bottled. Like hemp grown with the cool natural spring water of the Colorado Rocky Mountains, formulated and bottled in an actual lab. I'm talking about a unique blend of non-intoxicating native form high-spectrum CBD, overseen by one of the nation's top cannabis researchers. I'm talking about Zoe CBD. Look, life is hard enough without having to deal with the added stress of sleepless nights, sore muscles, and anxiety. CBD has been shown to have a dramatic effect on these symptoms, allowing you to sleep better, move without pain, and relax naturally, so you can get back to living the life you want and deserve. Who doesn't want that? But it's gotta be the real deal. If you care about what you put into your body and where it comes from, you want science-driven, industry-leading formulas and all-natural, non-intoxicating, native-form CBD that's free of contaminants. You want Zoe CBD. Whether you're new to CBD or an experienced user, there are a lot of options to choose from, so choose the best. Your body and mind will thank you for it.
Hi, my name is Matt Shoda, one of the owners of Beach Tree Laboratories. I want to talk to you for a second about COVID testing. If you need COVID testing, stay open. If you're a restaurant and you need to test your employees, a doctor's office, you need to check your employees, a school, you need to check the students. Allow us to help you. We guarantee 24-hour turnaround time on all testing. We send every positive to the state lab for DNA sequencing. We're picking up all the variances. We're very fast, we're very accurate, and we want to partner with you.
I knew it off the bat when we got dropped off at our platoons in boot camp. The first day they started yelling at us to get up, get online. I knew right there I made the right decision. That was my calling. So I knew that that was where I had to be. My name is Adolfo Naranjo. The reason why I chose to serve in the Marine Corps is because I want to contribute not only to my country but also to my community, and also because it's a sense of sacrifice in my family that we do something for our country, a sense of patriotism. Not only did I join the Marine Corps, my dad had been in the Navy. I had an older sister who enlisted in the Army. My brother is currently serving in the Marine Corps. He's in the infantry. And then my brother-in-law was also a Marine, and we worked for the same law enforcement agency. The Marine Corps instilled in me discipline, leadership, tactfulness, motivation, integrity. I could go on the list. The Marine Corps carries over into what I'm doing now. Working in law enforcement today, I just want them to see that I'm someone who's willing to help out. I want to do more for my community. You don't have to be in uniform. You don't have to be in the military, law enforcement. As a regular citizen, you can always make those decisions to help out others. I try to do my best. I'm not a Superman. I don't look at myself as a hero. I just see myself as a public servant. Duty or off duty, I try to help out as much as I can.